1978, John Carpenter would release one of the most iconic horror movies to date. So famous that it's even been remade by Rob Zombie. Not just once, but twice, parts 1 and 2. I'm standing in a location right now that is one of the most iconic shots in horror movie today. I'm talking about the Bush location. I'm talking about none other than Halloween. One of the opening shots for the movie, we see a young Micheal Myers standing just at the bottom of the steps. He's killed his oldest sister in the upstairs bedroom. Later we see the house again looking much more run down whenever Laurie Strode is dropping the keys off here for her dad, who's a real estate agent. And then throughout the movie, periodically we'll see Micheal in the house and outside shots of the house. Now this house has since been relocated since the movie. It was in a different location, it's been relocated here, and is now the offices for the Century House Financial Services here in South Pasadena.
Meyers House. You're not supposed to go up there.
Yes, I am.
This is what the side of the Meyers house kind of looks like. Like I said, not real sure which bedroom he would kill his sister Judith in at the beginning as a little boy, but and here we are around the back. Now look who we got sitting up in the thing, sitting up on the roof, trying to blend in like he's a peeping Tom in the tree, keeping an eye on his old house. Just after the opening scene when Michael's little, we fast forward. The screen says Smiths Grove, Illinois, and it's October 30th, 1978. Once that fades away, we see Dr. Loomis and a nurse driving. It's raining, it's pouring outside. She's smoking cigarettes. They're talking about Michael, yada, yada, yada. As they come up onto Smiths Grove Sanatorium, they see some of the patients are out wandering around. And she's like, are they supposed to be out wandering around? He's like, no, pull on up to the main gate. So they actually would have been coming from this direction right here, because in the movie we see she's going to the left and she's making a left turn. So they actually would be coming right around here, and she would pull in and stop about where this yellow fire hydrant is, about where this white SUV is.
Pull up to the main gate.
Shouldn't we
Go on, move.
Now, Dr. Loomis would say, wait in the car. He would get out and go towards the gate, and it's raining. All you can really see at the gate is just the car headlights. And what's changed is back then, it was the gate went all the way across. As you can see now, it's a double gate with a little gate, like pedestrian gate on the side. So where this SUV is going in would have been all one gate all the way across.
Shouldn't we go on up to the hospital and...
Wait.
And then from there, we see Micheal Myers actually jumps up on the back of the car. and, you know, proceeds to try to break in the car, tries to get the nurse out. She's freaked out. She slides on the back of the car. We see his ominous hand come down and hit the window, and she shoots out. He's off with the car. Dr. Loomis checks on her. But Mike's gone. Mike's out of here. Mike's like, I got people to kill. I gotta go find somebody. Let's just go.
Are you all right? You're all right?
Yes, I'm okay.
He's gone. He's gone from here.
Here's our opening title shot where the camera is low like this and we get Halloween across the screen. And in the screen we can see, or in the shot, we can see that street lamp. And then just over here to my right, you can see the peaks of this house. Now you can't see the second peak because this bush is in the way. But in the shot you can see a peak and then two more arches that are about right here. Just bushes have grown up. Now this bush is gone, but this is pretty much your shot. Halloween. Here on the corner of Fairview Avenue and Oxley Street, you'll find a pretty iconic house. Now, the camera would actually start here. Over here would be a big open grassy area, like a park, nothing there. Since then, the South Pasadena Public Library and Senior Citizen Place has been built here. So the camera would pan in this direction and we get a side shot of this house right here. This is Laurie Strode's house. In the movie, we see this house a couple times. We see it once when Laurie is leaving from this door right here, over the top of these hedges. And she comes down, there's a car parked here. She walks around, she makes her way down this street. The camera would pan back to her dad going, "Don't forget to drop the keys off at the Myers."
Don't forget to drop the key off at the Myers place.
And she would continue on to my left. Now later on in the movie, comes back out of the same door, around the street, or around the corner. And she would actually come right down here to this corner, right where this pumpkin is sitting. Somebody's been nice enough to leave a pumpkin out here to let you know, hey, a big piece of cinema history set right here. This is where Laurie Strode, arms full of blankets and books and everything else, would come. And she's going to sit down right here on this corner, right in front of her house. And as she's doing so, she sits down like this, and she's kind of looking down the street in this direction. And right where this greenhouse and this White House are is where she sees a family dressed Halloween. You know, they're coming out, getting ready to go trick-or-treating. And she's waiting for Annie to come and pick her up. Now we eventually will see Annie's red car make its way down the street in this direction. At which point Laurie catches a glimpse of her, and she's gonna make a way across the street and get in the car with Annie, and they would continue on headed to their destination.
It's fitting that they would leave the pumpkin here, considering in the scene where she comes and sits on it, you know, she's holding the pumpkin in her lap as she's sitting there. And I just confirmed it's plastic. I had to touch it.
Yeah, it kind of got that plasticky look to it.
Yeah, well, I couldn't tell, but you know, it's only right they put a plastic one, because you gotta make it last.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta signify this is it. This is Laurie Strode's house.
I do like that. I wish more places would do that. Like, hey, you know, Halloween pumpkins. This is the location. She sits in front of her house here.
Yeah.
Like, all places should do this. Like, this, whoever did this that's genius.
But you just think, right here on this concrete, Jamie Lee Curtis's butt's at.
Yeah.
The scream queen herself.
Yeah. Right about where your hand was touching too. So you just put it all over Jamie Lee Curtis's butt.
Yep.
We're on the location of the Smiths Grove Sanatorium. This is where Dr. Wynn and Dr. Loomis are coming out, and they're arguing about Michael leaving and where he's going and roadblocks and this and that.
And whether or not he knows how to drive a car, which he does. He's proved that.
Yeah. Now, it's mostly a close-up shot of the sanatorium. Now, the sanatorium is no longer here. It's now an upscale living estate. A lot of nice houses here. But the security guard supervisor was nice enough to give us a visitor pass so we can come up here and at least stand in what used to be the location. Now, there's really no shot to line up because, like I said, the hospital's gone. Everything's been torn down. But as the camera guy's walking backwards, filming Loomis and Wynn, you get a brief, as the camera kind of tilts like this up, a brief shot of a mountain in the background. So what you kind of see is a little bit of this mountain right here. You get just a brief little peak, and then the camera's back down level like this, and you can't see it anymore. But as you can see, Smiths Grove Sanitarium no longer exists. But it was replaced with a really nice living place.
Now, for God's sakes, he can't drive a car. He was doing very well last night. Maybe someone around here gave him lessons.
Our next shot brings us to Garfield Middle School. This would have been the location where we see Tommy getting picked on by the older boys, talking about the boogeyman's gonna get him, and where we see Michael actually stalking him. So the gate has changed. This is the back side of the school. The camera would have kind of panned. There would have been a chain link fence here. The camera would have panned around like this till you can see down the corridor here. We still see these handrails, and we see Tommy coming right through here with three older boys, you know, harassing him. Now they would walk on down and get somewhere around this door right here, and they would corner Tommy, keep saying, he's gonna get you, he's gonna get you, he's gonna get you, the boogeyman's coming, don't you know what happens on Halloween? They've kind of got him surrounded. And obviously we can't get in there to get you a closer shot, but because it's Sunday and the gates are closed. But Tommy would go to leave, and one of the boys would trip him, and he'd fall and land on his pumpkin, cracking it open. Now, two of the boys would run off in this direction. The other boy would run right towards the camera, jump down these steps where he would be grabbed by Micheal Myers, standing right about where Renee's standing now. Halloween music starts playing. The boy looks scared, and he runs off in this direction. and we see Tommy walk through here. Michael's gonna turn. Michael's kind of walking right about where Renee is looking. Now back then all of this would have been grass. As you can tell, they've had an overhaul, put a nice jungle gym in and concreted most of it. But he's gonna walk through here, and then Tommy's gonna kind of go towards those doors over there and walk on that side of the grass. Michael would continue on. Michael would actually get in his car, which probably was parked somewhere right here. And he's going to make this right-hand turn right where Renee is turning. Now he's in the car. He's slow creeping down the side of the road right here, right down through here, and he's watching Tommy over here. Now eventually Tommy's going to come through a gate and get right here on the sidewalk where we're at now. In the shot from the back of Michael's car, as he's slow rolling Tommy, we can see the four windows. Now from his roof, you can't really see the name of the school in the movie because it's kind of like this. Now what's changed, the windows have changed a little bit. The front door was red back then. It still got the same flagpole in the shot, and it's still got the same walkway here. Now what has been added is once Michael speeds off in this direction, we get a shot of this, and all of this is open. So there's no fence here. This building is not here. This tree is not here. It's just flat grass until the scene cuts next. So that has been, since it's changed and been added. Location where Dr. Loomis is using the payphone to call someone. Now the payphone would be right here just to my right as he exits. He's going to walk in this direction, and this building wouldn't have been here obviously, but this is where he finds the red truck, the box of matches, and the bloody robe. But as he's walking towards the truck, we can see the bend of the curve like this where there's a train coming. But off to the left, you can see a building with a red sign above it. Much like the building that's still sitting over there today. It's just the sign's white, top's a little green. But it would be in about the same location. Now I can't get any closer because they're doing construction work in this area. But you gotta imagine I'm at right here at the phone booth. Loomis is walking this way as the truck's coming. There have been a row of bushes here, but you can see this building right here off to the side as he's walking towards the truck.
If you don't, it's your funeral.
Here we are at South Pasadena High School, also known as Haddonfield High School. Now this high school has undergone a huge change since the movie came out, but this is going to be the location where we see Lori and Linda coming out after school, and they're going to walk home. This area still looks pretty much the same, except for the gate here, obviously. And I am standing up a little higher, so all this area would not have been here. We would actually see Lori and Linda walking through this direction.
Oh, look at you. Look at all the books you have. You need a shopping cart to get home. Yeah, not funny.
Of course, these steps would not be here, so they actually would come at an angle. We see this door here, and then right where this little wall is would be a big wall that would jut out and turn into a chain link fence. So they would actually come through here. The camera would kind of turn like this. We see the wall, we see the chain link fence, and they're actually going to walk in this direction.
You know, it's totally insane. We have 3 new cheers to learn in the morning. The game is in the afternoon. I have to get my hair done at 5, and the dance is at 8. I'll be totally wiped out.
As they're walking out, and the camera kind of follows them, right in the middle here is a tall tree with another wall just on the other side of it, brick wall, and it's got Haddonfield High School right about here. Now in the shot, as they walk by and the camera turns just a little bit for them to kind of walk off screen, we see the Haddonfield High School sign. You can actually see the peak of this house right there. You see it just over the Haddonfield High School sign as the girls are walking by, with the tree right about here in the foreground.
I don't think you have enough to do tomorrow.
Totally.
On Highland Street at the corner, we see the stone column. Now, in the shot, we have Lori and Linda walking this way, and they're chit-chatting, just left the school, kind of walking home. The camera's following them back.
As usual, I have nothing to do.
It's your own fault, and I don't feel a bit sorry for you.
Right about here, we see Annie come around the same corner. She's like, "Hey guys, why don't y'all wait for me after school?" And like, we did. So they start crossing the road. Now these bushes wouldn't have been here. Right about here, and they're actually going to walk down the middle of the road. They're chit-chatting, smoking a cigarette. You know, because when you ain't got nothing else to do after school, you just walk down the middle of the road. So when we get right about here, they start actually crossing the road.
Why didn't you wait for me?
We did. 15 minutes. You totally never showed.
That's not true. Here I am.
What's wrong, Annie? You're not smiling.
I'm never smiling again.
In the shot, we can see this house. You can see these actual columns where they actually come up onto the sidewalk.
Old Jerko got caught throwing eggs and soaping windows. His parents grounded him. He can't come over tonight.
I thought you were babysitting tonight.
The only reason she babysits is to have a place.
Now, the camera would pan around just about like this, so where you can see between a tree and a light pole. And Lori says, "Oh, I forgot my chemistry book." She's like, "Oh, Linda's like, "Don't, I always leave my chemistry book," and blah, blah, blah. But Lori stops talking because she sees the car Micheal Myers is in slow roll in this direction, and she's just eyeballing it.
I forgot my chemistry book.
So who cares? I always forget my chemistry book and my math book and my English book and my French book. And, well, who needs books anyway? I don't need books. I always forget all of my books. I mean,
Now, he would come right on down the street, and he actually pulls over right about here, or he slows down. One of the girl, Linda, says something about, "Ain't that so-and-so?"
He's hot.
He's hot, yeah. Well, after Micheal Myers eyeballing, he speeds off in this direction, to which Annie cries, "Hey, jerk, speed kills." And right just before this intersection right up here, he's gonna slam on brakes and just sit there.
Hey, jerk! Speed kills!
And the girls are like, "What's up?"
All creepy like.
Yeah. And then it continues to drive on out of sight. Just a little stalkerish.
I mean, yeah, if I saw somebody slam on brakes after I yelled something, I'd be like, I'm about to have to fight somebody.
So do you keep walking in the same direction, or do you turn around and go in the opposite
I maybe
direction?
like try to run this way.
Back in the direction you
Depending
came?
on who gets out that car.
Big, tall, 6-foot-something guy wearing a ugly white mask.
Yeah, I'm gone.
As the girls are walking up this street towards the camera, Linda's going to peel off to her house, which is 1027. Montrose. So she's going to cut right across this yard because this is her house. But what we see in the background as she's turned looking this way over her shoulder saying something to Annie and Lori, we see this house is more of a yellow color, and we can see this brick wall on the front porch that's also white.
What time tonight?
I don't know yet. I have to get out of taking my little brother trick-or-treating.
Saving the treats for Bob.
Funny. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Annie's looking down at her books, and Lori looks up, and we get the first full shot of Micheal Myers standing creepily right where Renee's at the iconic bush. Lori kind of stops, sees Micheal, is like, hey, isn't that guy that you yelled at from earlier? Micheal would step behind the bush. Now Renee can't because it actually has a thing on the grass that says, please give the grass a break, for where people have been standing there. It's actually turned to dirt. And Annie's like, oh, no way. He thinks he's slick, and goes walking towards the bush.
Annie, look.
Look where?
Behind the bush.
Oh, subtle, isn't he?
Next shot in the scene, the camera kind of pulls back. Annie's walking up like, hey, creep, or hey, jerk. Looks around the bush. Nobody's there.
Hey, creep. Lori, dear.
And she turns to Lori and she's like, hey, Lori wants to have a talk with you, or your admirer, or something to that effect. And she reluctantly comes up, sees that there's nobody behind the bush, and she's like, am I just worrying, or am I something? I don't know. She says something, and the girls continue on down the street.
He wants to take you out tonight.
He was standing right there.
Poor Lori. Scared another one away.
It's tragic. You never go out. You must have a small...
With Lori kind of looking like she's a bit crazy. Like she looks like she feels like she's losing her mind, like she's seeing things that aren't there, because she's already seen him once outside the high school.
Mm-hmm. But you can tell this is a very, like, one of the most iconic spots to go to, because their grass is pretty nice, and here it's not.
Yeah.
Where people stand all the time and take the infamous bush shot.
You can see that, like I was telling you, grass needs a break. This was actually laid over. We stuck it back in the ground so you can read it, because I guess somebody had knocked it over. But
Probably go in and be like, screw this little sign, I'm doing the bush shot.
yeah. We're here at the cemetery where Loomis and the groundskeeper are looking for Judith Meyers' plot. Now this is actually the exit road here, but they would have pulled in up to about where this car is, and then got out, walked up the road, cut across down this road to about where Renee is.
About 15 years ago. One night he finished dinner, and he excused himself from the table, and he went out to the garage. He got himself a hacksaw.
And then they would have came just to the side, because you can clearly see this Sinclair headstone here, and just at an angle from that, right about here, where they would have been standing when he counts 19, 20, and there would have been a big gash in the ground where a headstone would have been. Judith Meyers.
Judith Myers, I remember her. Couldn't believe it. Such a young boy.
Mother, you lost?
Why do they do it? 18, 19. Judith Myers.
The hardware store has been broken into, and we see a shot from across the street with Annie and Lori driving right through here. Now they're going to turn here across these tracks and pull up right about here where Annie's dad's out front.
Just be natural. There he is. Just be natural.
Hi, Annie. Lori.
Hi, Dad.
Once they get through talking to Dad, they're going to drive on down this way. Loomis pulls up right about where this car is and where Renee's standing. Gets out and he's like, Sheriff, I need to talk to you. He's like, I ain't got time. He's like, just 5 minutes, please. He's like, you got 5 minutes. The sheriff goes in. The camera points back in this direction with Loomis standing there, and we see the car that Micheal Myers has stolen. He's right behind Loomis, who never even recognized him, and heads in the same direction as Annie and Lori. As Annie and Lori drive up this street, we get a shot of what would be the hardware store right here. They would pull around and stop right about where that crosswalk is. But you only get one little shot as they're driving up at the front of the hardware store. And
Lori, stop coughing. What's the matter with you?
at the end of the movie, we have Lori and Annie babysitting. Now, Annie would be babysitting Lindsay here at 1537, and across the road is 1530, which is Tommy's house. So this is the Wallaces house. Now, none of the interior shots or the laundry facility is at this house. They're actually across the road behind me at 1542. They would use this house for the interior shots of the Wallaces house, along with the laundry room in the back that Annie gets locked in, and Lindsay has to come unlock the door. The house you're looking at now, 1533, is the, quote, bad neighbor's house. So Lori would have ran out of this house, across the yard, to the neighbor's house, where she knocks on the door begging for help. They turn the porch light on. They even look out the window. Now, you can't see the window because this big bush has grown up that you can't see in the movie. But they would look out the window, see her, and wouldn't help her, and so she runs back across the street to Tommy's house.
Hello? Hello? Oh? Hello, help me! Man, please help me! Please! Can't you hear me? Oh, God!
Our last shot is here at 1530, and I'm sure you can already tell which house this is. This is Tommy Doyle's house. This is the famous hiding in the closet. Loomis sees them. Loomis sees the kids running out. He's going inside to save the day. And right off this balcony here, the big fall. The ending, or what you think is the ending, of Micheal Myers. Now, actually, in the first movie, the balcony would actually be in the rear of the house. Now, it was rectified to the front of the house at the beginning of Halloween 2 when you see that same Loomis shooting Myers through the window and off the balcony. All of the interior and exterior shots for Tommy's house was used here. It's pretty cool. Looks like this under a lot of work.
The balcony's actually broken over on that side. Looks like they're just cleaning up a shooting of a masked crazed person.
Yeah. It's crazy. I hope they don't change it too much though. I mean, because so many houses and movies are getting facelifts and don't look the same. It'd be nice for this one to stay the same, much like the Micheal Myers house.
But I mean, it will be curious once they get through, like what all they're planning on doing to it.
Yeah.
Like, will you come back in a year and it not even remotely look the same?
Yeah, it's got a new roof and they put up this new porch. It'll end up looking like this one right here next to it. Completely different. That's awesome. That does it for all things Halloween 1978. This has been a trip. Like, this has been one of my favorite filming locations. Getting to see this, like, it's up there. It's up there with the Ghostbusters and Beetlejuice. It's been nice. So, I guess that does it for us on this adventure.
Yeah.
Shout out to VIP Road Warrior patron, Crip Lady. Thanks for helping us out every month. Thank you for watching this video. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. And leave us some comments. Let us know if you've ever seen any of these locations, or maybe some locations we need to go visit and film. Until next time, we'll catch you guys down the road at the next exit.
Keep it spooky.
Later.